welcome to Wisdom Keepers of Earth, Miss Diana Cooper. We're so honored to have you. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
The audience doesn't know Diana Cooper well. You're in for a treat because she is just an amazing author and spiritual leader. Her latest book is right here, The Golden Future. Yes, we both have them. And she is the author of 34 books, which have been translated into 24 languages. She speaks about spiritual things, also unicorns, Atlantis. Interdimensional beings are your friends. And
yeah, absolutely.
And also the Archangels. In her book, she also mentions colors and chakras. There's so much to learn from your books. And I encourage readers, if they haven't read you, I encourage them to pick up this latest book. It's just beautiful. I'm going to hold it up again, The Golden Future. And the reason I was drawn to the book and to you is because I have been speaking with Rory Duff and Pam Gregory also about this new golden age that's coming forward. And they had mentioned a timeline that was a little different from yours. So I want to ask you about that. They had...
Pam and I usually have absolutely the same information.
Okay, so 2024, December of 2024 is where we think this is beginning. Is that correct? This is where I get information.
Okay. No, my information is that we, as you know, are going through the most important period that there's ever been in the history of the planet, this 20-year period. 2012 marked the end of a 260,000-year cosmic era, the era of Atlantis. And then there is a 20-year period before the new begins. This is for all the planets, all the universes. So the whole lot are going through this 20-year shift to a higher frequency. But because Earth was behind, we had to move up 2 dimensions. And that is why we're attracting so much assistance from the universe right now, and why these incredible events are taking place to shift us forward very quickly. And that's why it's been so chaotic for people on Earth, because it's all happening so quickly. And so my timeline is that 2012 to last year, basically, is the breakdown. That is still continuing, but beginning to lessen. And then from this year, 2023, we're starting to put into place things, a new paradigm. People everywhere are starting to build community. They're starting to think about education systems that are right for the children. This is the sort of thing that is now starting to happen, the people putting into place plans for the people. Up to now, we've allowed governments, egotistical ministers, all to put into plans things for the children, for example, without thinking of what the needs of the children are. And of course, the new children coming in have very different needs. And so we are going to start putting into place things that are suitable for the new children coming in. Hospitals, they are crumbling away. They're overloaded. They are not fit for the purpose of the new age, when people will take self-responsibility and people will start looking at their own health and treating themselves very differently, so that they don't need to keep going into hospital. And the entire medical system will change. The reason we became so dependent on the pharmaceuticals was because we are coming to the end of the period. And so Source said that anybody who wanted to incarnate on the planet now to finish their karma or try to finish their karma before the new blueprint for Earth was set into place in 2032 had a dispensation to come here, so that this meant that instead of having 2 billion people on the planet, which is the optimum, it's now 8 billion. And so all these people are crowding in to try to complete their karma. One reason it's been so tricky on Earth for people. The other is that until now, if your great-grandfather did something wrong, then somebody else in his family would have to take that karma on, his children or his grandchildren. Or if he had none, it would be cousins or nieces or nephews. But they had a choice, and they could say, no, pass it on to somebody else. Now it's end times. So if somebody in your family has incomplete karma, then we've had to take it on. This has had a huge impact on our bodies. And this is why we've had to have really powerful allopathic medicine to deal with it. That's coming to an end. In the rising tide of the frequency, all those pharmaceuticals will be swept away. They're not part of the golden future to which we're moving. Now, it's quite interesting to me that so many people say, oh, what an awful world we're leaving for our children and grandchildren. And I say, no, absolutely not. We are moving into a golden future. The frequency of the planet is rising. We're moving into a time of soul satisfaction and happiness. It's going to be very, very different in the future. We're already starting. When your Earth Star chakra is in place and operational, then you're automatically drawn to the place where your soul feels happiness, where you're meant to be living. And then you start to attract your soul friends and family to you. And when you're living surrounded by your soul connections, then it's a very different feeling of happiness, belonging, and contentment that we are now starting to see happening on the planet. So on every level, things are starting to move. What's happening right now and has been happening is this. I don't know if you've ever replaced your kitchen. If you have, you will know exactly what I mean. You think, okay, I'm going to have a new kitchen. Here's the wonderful new kitchen I'm going to have. Then you have to live through the knocking down of the walls, the knocking out of the cupboards, the dust, the grime, the dirt, the inconvenience of it all. And you have to go through that. And you're thinking, oh, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And then you focus on the amazing new kitchen you've ordered, and you know it's okay. Now, this time, not only are we having a new kitchen, but we're knocking down the walls and expanding so that it's a much bigger kitchen. So it's even more disturbance than it would have been. But the same thing is true. This is one reason I wrote The Golden Future. It's because it gives people hope and a vision to focus on, to absolutely know that we are moving into this new energy, this new paradigm. It's coming, and we just have to visualize it and focus on it to bring it about more quickly and easily.
Yes.
And so, yes. We are just going into something amazing.
Yes. And you and Pam Gregory are on the same wavelength, and so is Rory Duff. It's just
right.
You mentioned 2024 December as being more harmonious than now, which is
absolutely
wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then each year after that will become more harmonious.
More harmonious. Excellent.
As we step towards the new.
Beautiful. The way that I love to use your book, I have dog-eared and I've gone through it, is
Thank you.
through stichomancy. So I like to use your book. I go into a meditative state and I hold your book near me and I ask, what is it that I need to know now? What does Melinda need to know now? And I just open the page and I read what's there. And
so what have you got?
so I want to tell you that one of the exercises, I was struggling with something, and I've gotten visualized for a healed planet. I've gotten that one. Visualization for a healed planet. I've also gotten one that was so powerful for me that it instantaneously worked. It was visualization for oneness.
Right.
On page 164. It seems that whatever I need just shows up.
It's one of those books.
And one of them was the Cosmic Helpers.
Okay.
On page 198. And I've underlined the sun beyond and the reason it brought up Lyra, the beings from Lyra, and it made me chuckle because Lyra is one of the constellations that I love to work with when I do grid work, crystal grid work. I'm now working with crystals and constellations.
But that is particularly interesting. Two things that you've picked out. One is about the planet being whole and complete, because on the 22nd of October, I've been guided to do this incredible day where we have literally been told it is the most important thing since the cosmic moment. And it's a historic day. It is raise the frequency of the world. And during it, we do go through the most awesome meditations I've ever experienced. And then we visualize the planet radiating out golden white light, healed and at a higher frequency. And it's so powerful. I was given this meditation and it changes all the time. I was told I must do it every single day for 2 years. I've been doing it for 4 months now. And it's changed and I've changed while I'm doing it. But it's about raising the frequency of the planet and humanity on that day. And that's just beyond anything you can imagine happening. The other thing I was going to mention is about the healing. The beginning of the book, The Golden Future, is about the timelines, what's happening, what's happened so far. Then the second section is about what it's going to be like living in that amazing energy. And actually, that's just lovely to read because it's so heartening. And then the third section is going through the chakras and the chambers of the chakras. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you want to heal a particular chakra or go through them all and heal them, you only have to read what the lesson of the chamber is. And the angels will be with you. And I've been told this by Spirit. The angels will be with you as they read, and they will help you to learn that lesson and absorb it and clear all the old stuck energy in your chakra so that your chakra comes out at a higher level.
I felt
so just reading it.
I did that. I did that for the sacral.
Wow. Yeah, for most people, that's the most out of balance chakra.
And I thought, oh my goodness, I could feel the clearing happening while I was reading it.
Well, I was amazed when they told me this. I thought, well, that's just awesome that they can put that, because the Audible is also out today, and that has the same energy. As you go through it, the angels make sure you heal it. Wow. I know
the power of the written word, there's energy in this book, and there's the beauty and grace of this book allows one to, if they like to do the stichomancy like I do, to just know whatever shows up is needed right now, and that you have the support that you need, which is fantastic.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's so joyful. It's so joyful. That's one of the other things I love about your book is that there's so much joy and hope in this book. And there are chaotic times right now, and we're experiencing a lot of the deconstruction. And it's not easy. And I do not want to diminish any of the suffering that people are going through right now, because there is a lot of suffering happening.
Well, there is. And part of it is that souls at a soul level have chosen to go through initiations that is for suffering to make sure they're ready to move into the golden future. And so don't want to take the pain away, because that is their journey to enable them to move into a higher frequency. And initiations are amazing. They're meant to be tests. They're meant to be challenging and difficult, because that's how it hones your soul to shine more brightly. And it's all very well for you to say, oh, why, she can say that. But I had cancer last year for the second time. It was an initiation, but I knew it was an initiation. I went into it with great joy. And even the first time I had it, when they kept telling me that they didn't think I'd survive, it was just joyous. And twice, the first time, Spirit came to me and said, well, it's your choice. Do you want to stay or go? And I said, I don't mind, whatever's for the highest good. And I stayed. And then they gave me another job to do. And so then I got it again. And this time again, it was about clearing energy from Atlantis, from the planet, both times. And again, it was joyful. In fact, in the hospital, they thought I had dementia or something. They said to me, now, dear, can you tell me in your own words why you think you're in hospital? So I told them very clearly and concisely what was happening. And they said, oh.
I bet. Well, I'm here having an initiation, and it's quite joyful.
No, I didn't tell them that bit.
Oh.
I told them the physical things that were happening.
Oh, okay.
The first time. No, I didn't say I was going through an initiation. I didn't think they'd get it.
Oh, no, that's true. We can only share what we feel is beneficial for everyone.
But yes, all I'm trying to say is, yes, I know people are going through a tough time. And I'm hoping this book will help them to focus on the vision of where they're going, so that they can realize that there is a whole point to it, and they will get there.
And the other thing I noticed about this book is that it's very expansive. So as we are expanding, this book is also very expansive. It incorporates many levels,
Yes.
a multiverse of levels.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so this book, I have found, matches what's happening with us. We're in an expansion mode. And
Yes,
this is a wonderful companion for that.
Well, interestingly enough, on the 22nd of October, when we do the Raise the Frequency of the World, we are starting by raising the frequency of the third eye. Now, there's several things to say about this. One is that the third eye chakra of the planet is Afghanistan, and that is currently expected to be the last place on the planet at peace. And that's a reflection of the third eye of humanity. When we all raise our third eye, that enables Afghanistan to come into peace. Now, Afghanistan is the planetary third eye chakra. The chakra of the universe, the third eye chakra of the universe, is Jupiter. And one of the things and that's about expansion.
Yes.
We're going to have to think of it. And so one of the things we'll be doing is opening the portal to Jupiter into Afghanistan and then into the center of the planet. And we have somebody who is a high priest of Jupiter who will be on the platform anchoring that energy for the rest of his life. That is one of his soul offerings for this lifetime, A.J. Roberts. And he will be anchoring that energy right into the center of the planet. Now, this is going to bring about abundance consciousness. That is one of its main purposes, as well as expansion. When there is abundance consciousness, then people move into peace. And so when the whole planet comes into that state of peace and harmony that we are focusing on for the day, for the Raise the Frequency of the World event, when the planet is in peace and harmony and people are cooperating around the world, then the amethyst skull of Atlantis, which contains all the wisdom of Atlantis, starts to radiate out its light. This is going to bring every crystal on the planet online. So if you've done ceremonies and you've put energy into a crystal, all of that is going to start radiating out at a high frequency. And all the gems in the seams, all the emeralds and diamonds in the seams, they're going to start coming online and radiate archangel energy. When this happens, a portal in China that has been closed is now going to start to open. This radiates out pure white love energy, very similar to source energy. And as this goes around the planet, it's going to start raising the higher heart of the masses and start to bring the whole planet up even more into a higher frequency. So masses is going on at the moment, raising the frequency in every conceivable way. We're also on that day going to be anchoring. I mean, we're doing a huge amount of work, but we're anchoring the energy of Helios, the 11th dimensional energy of Helios. And Tim Wilde, who is a high priest of Arcturus, is going to anchor that energy into the planet for us. See, 2,000 years ago, as you know, Jesus incarnated and he brought down, he accessed, and then he anchored, he did it all himself, that energy of Christ light into the planet. Well, the whole planet's moved up since then. So what we're doing is together, everybody that's doing the meditation all around the world on that day is going up to Helios and to 2 other planes and accessing the 11th dimensional codes. These are the codes of all you can be, and bringing that energy down, and Tim Wilde is going to anchor it into the planet. Then we are going up to Andromeda, the higher heart of the universe, where the codes of higher healing and of perfect balance of love, peace, and wisdom are held in this violet pink energy. And the key to unlocking this is love. And so we're going to be sending love right into it to unlock it and bring that higher heart energy down. And Adrian Lee, who is a high priest of Andromeda, is going to anchor that into the planet. And then you talked about Lyra. We are actually going through the Stargate of Lyra into the 11th dimensional pure white unicorn energies. And those energies contain all the qualities we need for our monadic merge. And we are bringing that down. And Mia Kafkios has been given special permission quite recently by the Intergalactic Council to anchor that energy into the planet. So we're all working together. That is one of the many, many things. I think just only one of the amazing things, when we actually do make the monadic merge after we've gone through a whole process with masters and archangels, then we make our monadic merge, and then all the monads are going to merge together. The light created will illuminate the entire universe.
The individual monad is known as the higher self?
No. This is beyond the higher self.
Okay.
So this is your I am presence. It is your original divine spark from God. It is the highest you can be and access. We've never been able to access it before in a lifetime, but now we are all going to access our monads. And when And it's never before happened on this planet. But when all the monads merge together, at that moment, we will touch the 12th dimension. And that is just like mind-blowingly awesome. But it's happening. I could hardly believe it when I was told, no, that will happen. So being an extremely practical Virgo, I said, well, what happens if somebody's asleep, if they've fallen asleep during the meditation? Will they reach that level? And they said, no, if they've fallen asleep, they won't. But if they've been taken out of their body by their guide, then they will. And if you're awake, obviously, you will reach that level.
and
I hope people will be. Although it's an awesome and deep meditation, I will do things during it to make sure people are in their bodies, because that's really important.
Yes. And for those that may not be participating at the time due to something that comes up for them, they can still feel this energy. And will you
of course, you can tune in. It's being live streamed around the world. So just go to my events page and you can find it. And there are people taking affiliate links. And we're just trying to get it out as far as we can. And people are joining together and taking little halls and making a day with their friends to do it all together.
Wonderful.
And so, yeah, that's really, really important that they get it. Because we are moving into this incredible golden
and those that, for whatever reason, cannot make it, I do not want them to feel like they're being left behind. It's very important that they understand that evolution is happening no matter what, and they're okay, and everything is fine, and we're all moving in this beautiful direction.
This is a service to the planet and humanity.
And those that should, and the empaths should be able to feel it as well, right? We'll be able
absolutely. You will feel it. Yeah, you will feel it. And what they said to me was, I said, well, what about people like at the other side of the world who have a different time zone? And what Metatron said was that because he deals with time, as you know, and he brings time together. He said that if anybody does it within 21 days, he will bring all the time together so that it affects the planet. If they do it after 21 days, it will work on their personal spiritual growth, but it won't actually affect the planet. So there's a big window of opportunity.
21 days.
The meditations. So on the day we're starting raising the frequency of the third eye, then Adrian Lee is doing an Akashic record clearing so that people are ready. And then in the afternoon, we are going to do the incredible monadic merge. And after we've done it, we'll go to the Intergalactic Council to make petitions.
And the video, will there be a video replay? Will people be able to access it and then within the 21-day period if they can't make it?
Yeah, to go on to the they can get the live stream link or probably the recording.
Wonderful.
On my website.
Oh, good. I love this. That's wonderful. What a gathering.
I know. Really, really important.
Yes. And so I was, one of the times that I opened your book, it was also amusing to me because it mentioned Honolulu, Hawaii, as being the sacral chakra. Is that correct? One of the Oahu is part of one of the chakras of your. I opened it up and there they said, what?
Oh, of course, Fiji and
Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay.
Honolulu, yes. And I thought, I live in
Honolulu. Yeah. Okay.
I'm a part of that.
That's naval. Yes, indeed.
Because I wasn't born here. I moved here with my husband. And after we had a fire, we had a transition happen with us where we lost all of our possessions, our home, everything. And we moved to Hawaii. I felt like the universe was saying, we need you here. It's time to come.
Absolutely. How very fascinating. Yeah, because fire is such a transmuter.
Isn't it, though?
Really pushes you forward.
And according to, I think, Chinese astrology, we're moving into a fire element
Oh, really?
in the
Okay.
next year. So one of my feng shui friends mentioned that last night. And I said, I've already been through the transition of fire.
Yes, done it. You don't need to do it again.
Right. I'm friends with fire. And here we have Madame Pele also in creation. So Kilauea just started erupting again yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So we have our volcano is busy. And
I hope you're all talking to the salamanders because, of course, they're the fire elements. And if you talk to them and you calm them down, then they will damp down fire.
oh,
I remember once, I was in Cape Town, somewhere in South Africa, I think, and I was sitting on this mountain and all these fires were raging and they were saying they were really worried about them coming towards the township. And we sat on this hillside and we called in the elementals and we calmed them and we watched that fire going down.
oh.
It is amazing what impact humans have. You know, salamanders and all elementals, they get very excited around excited panic in humans.
Yes.
And would make the wildfires or any fires worse. It's astonishing how much we can affect what goes on, hurricanes, all sorts of things, by our energy.
Yes. How is it that the unicorns can help us right now?
Well, how they helped everybody in Atlantis was by holding the frequency high. But I've written 2 books about unicorns because they came to me and they said, we want you to write a book about us each time. One is the wonder of unicorns and the magic of unicorns. And they are the purest of the pure. They hold all the high frequency energies that you can need. They help you to hold your frequency high. If I get into a car to go somewhere, I ask the angels to surround me, the dragons to clear the path in front, and the unicorns to hold the frequency high. Same if I'm thinking about a place where there's a war zone or something, I'll send the dragons in to clear the energies around. They can delve into deep, dense energies. The angels to support the people and help them. And the unicorns to help holding the vision high. Because unicorns can heal.
Yes.
So many people have written to me and told me that a unicorn has come and touched them in their sleep. They've woken up healed. They heal hearts. They heal on every level. They open you up to higher and better things. They even leave little white feathers like angels for you to find.
I've been finding white feathers all over my house.
Well, you've been working with unicorns or angels, of course, but you're talking about unicorns. So I
Little
expect
white feathers everywhere.
Well, there you go. They're wanting you to notice.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk to them. Ask them to come and help you. Ride on them somewhere, and they will raise the frequency of whatever you're doing. They'll raise the frequency of your home. They'll raise the frequency of your holiday. They will start putting white light to raise what's going on in your family. They can help you in so many ways.
We have an elemental here called the menehune. And
Sorry,
I heard the little bark. Which is,
sorry, it's one of my dogs.
But I think that's wonderful. When I said menehune, he barked.
I was trying to keep them quiet earlier when they were chewing.
No, it's wonderful. I love it. We could even meet your animal. You could bring one of them forward. So we have menehune, interdimensional beings that are builders and that help with things. And when I move things around my house, or things that are too heavy for me, I ask for their assistance, and lo and behold, I can move something from one place to another.
Fantastic.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. And we have our dolphins and our whales. And
yes.
And
Hawaii is the most beautiful place. And, do you know, I had a wonderful experience swimming with dolphins there. I was on this beach. I swam right out with this friend who was a very powerful swimmer. And it was just my limit. And the dolphins were leaving the bay and everyone was saying, come on, let's follow them. My friend said, let's follow them. I said, no, I've had enough. Let's lie here and call them and ask them to come to us. We just lay there on the surface of the water, and 3 dolphins, each with a baby, came underneath us. And then they did a circle. They came just underneath us again. And as they did so, the babies suckled on the mothers.
Oh,
I mean to say,
how beautiful.
Gift. Oh, what amazing.
And chasing them is not a good idea. So what you've done is just marvelous.
Yes.
And they're so telepathic.
Yes, they're amazing. They know everything.
They do know everything. One of the, I've also been working with the constellation Delphinius, which is the dolphin constellation as well. I have a really affinity with my dolphin friends and my whale friends. But one of the other things that I really enjoyed about this Golden Future book is that you list in the back the archangels. It's like a little dictionary you have here of archangels and what they do and how they do it. And I had no idea. I was never part of, I never understood that. I think there's a section here where you speak about the archangels. And yeah, right here, there's a whole, on page 282, you list all of the archangels. I had no idea there were.
Oh, yes, there is a list. Yes.
There's a list. And I thought it was just marvelous to be able to identify them and how they work and how you can ask for assistance. And Metatron has helped me many times.
Yes. Well, Metatron is amazing.
And then you list all the chakras, of course, but there's a wonderful glossary in the back. I think the book is so comprehensive, and when you read something in it that is meant for you, and there always is something meant for the reader.
Yes.
It's astonishing what comes up, and it will be just perfect for what they need at that moment in time.
Absolutely.
And and that's one of the things I really loved about your book. And plus, I love the cover. It's very whimsical.
I know.
Look at how pretty that is.
Oh, that's Daniel of Space Before Thought. He is amazing. He's done the cards, which aren't out yet, but they are totally unique and different.
Wonderful. The other thing on the cover here is you have a monarch butterfly, and I have monarch butterfly nursery.
Really?
Yes. And I just had Asian swallowtails also who likes
beautiful. Oh, lovely.
I have a nursery for butterflies. I keep them safe, and then when they're ready to go, they fly out. I just unzip the enclosure and they take off. So it's
so needed. How beautiful.
To watch that transformation reminds me to have the confidence in myself that we're all going to make it. It's all going to be good. It's all fine.
Well, of course, happening. Butterflies are the messengers of the angels, as are birds. And so when you see them, you've got archangels, angels all around you, helping you.
Is there a particular message that you would like to leave us with today?
Oh, we are moving into the most amazing, wonderful golden future. Just hold that vision. Know it's happening.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Miss Diana Cooper, thank you for agreeing to be with us on Wisdom Keepers of Earth. It's just been an absolute delight and pleasure. I'm looking forward to enjoying all the beauty and grace that's coming from these meditations and participating in them. Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you.